take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now. 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Happy Thursday. Welcome in to the Lindsay Beckham Show. Hope you're all having a fabulous day so far out there in the central Mississippi area or all across the world if you are streaming us live on Facebook, YouTube, X, or WYAB.com, where you can always find the audio versions of all of our shows here at WYAB. We are live here in the WYAB studios. And if you would like for the studio name to consist of your name or the name of your business, we can make that happen. We're always looking for new advertisers to partner with here at the Lindsay Beckham Show. So reach out to me if you want us to help promote your business. We have the best, most loyal listeners on the planet. You can reach me at lindsay@wyab.com. That's Lindsay with an E. And we will see what we can do to come alongside you, partner with you, help promote your business, spread the word, and advertise your great name here on the radio. Like I said, we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And as always, we will start the show with our words of wisdom, our Madison Minute from Live in Liberty Daily. You can find it at liveinlibertydaily.com or on Amazon. Just search for Live in Liberty Daily. You will not regret it. I think this is a great thing to do with your children, whether it be at the dinner table every evening as you talk about your day. Take this quote, one of these quotes, this little nugget of wisdom from one of our founding fathers, or founding mothers for that matter. Talk about what you think it means and how you can apply their words to your daily life living in America today. Today's quote, August 6th, is from Governor Morris, from Observations on Government, applicable to the political state of France, 1789. He said this, but what is education? See, they were pondering this even way back when. He said, let us not confound things. Education of the head, learning, pedantry. They used a lot of weird words back then too. Superstition. These are what the college confers. Education of the heart, manners. These we derive from the society around us. Hence, the Dutchman is adversarious, the Englishman proud, the Frenchman vain, and yet each has read the same Livy, the same Cicero, the same Horace. So education has always been a topic among politicians. Always at the forefront is how can we educate others? Oddly enough, there happened to be a committee meeting this morning, a consolidation meeting, in fact, because if you know me, you know that I believe we have far too many school districts here in the state of Mississippi. And trust me, we're going to get into this today. We are going to get into the amount of money that you, my friends, you spend on our superintendents. Be prepared to pick your jaw up off the floor. It might shock you. I feel we could most definitely consolidate some of these school districts, shave off some of this administration cost, and use those dollars to put back into the classroom to better prepare our children for the future. But that's just me. But we will get into all of that most definitely. Of course, one of the big topics is the fluoride being put back into the water over in Ridgeland, Mississippi. I talked to you about this the other day prior to the city council meeting. The Board of Aldermen voted 4-3. Actually, the vote was taken on permanently removing fluoride from the water because over in Ridgeland, there has not been fluoride in their water systems since 2021. The cost of putting the fluoride back into the water is estimated to be around $200,000. Y'all, this is so mind-boggling to me. You want to spend that kind of money on something that is proven to lower IQ. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Anyway, like I said, the vote I heard taken was on to permanently remove fluoride from the water. That vote did not pass. It was defeated 4-3. But I never heard anyone make a motion as far as actually putting the fluoride back into the water. So I guess maybe it's assumed at this point that fluoride will be reintroduced into the water system, but I was there. I was there until they went into executive closed session, and I never heard anyone make a motion or take a vote on that. So I'm interested to see what will play out here. Telling you, I'm channeling my Aaron Brockovich these days because I think it's absurd to spend that kind of money. I would go as far to say I would vote as a citizen to spend that kind of money to remove the poison, the drugs, the not so natural resources from the water. That's what I would vote to spend money on. But no, they have us so completely brainwashed and confused here in America that they have us spending money, that kind of money, to put poison in the drinking water. Good job, Alderman. Good job. I do have to give props to Alderman Wesley Hamlin, who was the one who made the motion to permanently discontinue fluoride in Ridgeland's water. I appreciate his support and him taking a stand to do the right thing. You know who didn't take a stand to do the right thing? Well, let me just tell you, the same person who was voted to be held in contempt this morning, that's right, your very own Dr. Fauci. The Senate this morning voted to hold him in contempt concerning this last Senate hearing where he pled the fifth 111 times refusing to answer any questions about how he handled the pandemic that we call COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2. Went so far as to refuse to answer what day of the week it was. Now, I don't know what he's so scared of. He's already been pardoned by Joe Biden, or at least Joe Biden's auto pen. And from what I understand, after you have been pardoned, you no longer get to plead the fifth. You no longer have that luxury. You have to answer the hard questions, Fauci. And speaking of Fauci and the hearing and tyranny and government overreach, a video was posted that I was scrolling and saw the other day from a few years ago, and it brought back all the memories. A video recorded right here in the state of Mississippi where our public health officials met Dr. Edney, Dr. Dobbs, and the way they talked about you and me, the way they talked about the people of Mississippi was disgusting. I believe it was even said in that meeting, well, we'll just tell them, if you want your freedom, you take the shot. And then they all snickered and laughed because it's so comical, right? It's so comical to strip away the autonomy, to strip away the sincerely held religious beliefs of Mississippians. It's funny. Real funny. I'll tell you what, I know a lot of people who got the COVID shot. It wasn't a vaccine, by the way, and regret it. But I don't know a single person who stood their ground, refused to be bullied into taking an experimental government injection and regrets not doing it. I don't know a single one. And trust me, I know a lot of people who did not take that shot. Maybe they didn't get their free donut. Maybe they didn't get their free fast food. Maybe they didn't get to post their, I got my COVID vaccine in their mask and tout it all over social media as if they're so proud of it. You know, we look back on those people today and think, that didn't age well, did it? That did not age well. So, Dr. Fauci, you are in contempt, my friend. Hey there, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I got a two-part question. On the fluoride, I've been, drinking fluoridated water and getting fluoride treatments for probably, I guess, 55 years, 60 years. And so have my kids. So I'm trying to figure out if fluoride is as dangerous as you guys purport, then why is it just really being brought to the forefront during this administration? That's one question.
It's not.
And
It's
then-
not, John. I've been talking about fluoride for years.
No, I'm talking about literally it's been out for 50, 60 years. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And I've
have
been
they talking
talking.
about this?
I've been talking about it for years because we finally have someone in this administration who's going to push back on the things that they put into our food, our water, our air that are not safe. That's why.
Well, I guess that the other question is on COVID-19. President Trump he endorsed the vaccine.
He sure did, and that is my biggest bone to pick. I have said it many times. I feel like he needs to come out and apologize to the American people. He should have never gotten behind that vaccine, and I hold that against him 1,000,000%.
Yeah, so I guess that's my thing. The buck should always stop with the head of an organization.
I'm not disagreeing. I hold that wholeheartedly against him. He went along, he listened to the people who were advising him. They were wrong, but he had the overall power to say, I'm not going to endorse something that I don't know the risk versus the benefit. And he did anyway. And I have a real problem with that. Operation Warp Speed is a joke, in my opinion. And I think, if anything, instead of saying that's an accomplishment, he should come out and say, this is my biggest mistake.
I guess when you don't have to say that as a leader, nobody can make him say I'm sorry or I apologize. But I want to go back to one other point. The IQ, they said fluoride lowers your children's IQ.
Yes, it does. There is a 32-page Harvard study that outlines this much more eloquently than I can say it, and I will be happy to send it to you.
Well, yeah, because I was trying to figure out, okay, are there multiple studies or was it just
there are multiple studies. In fact, Dr. Latipo, who is the Surgeon General over in Florida, just said that it is a public health malpractice for communities and states to still have fluoride in their water systems. There are multiple studies. And just because there are certain people who make money off of this and refuse to acknowledge these studies and refuse to acknowledge the facts that it is lowering IQs, it is dangerous for children, there are risks, doesn't mean that it's not true.
Okay, well, I guess I'm asking, is it just certain children or is it every child in just fluoridated water? They could be smarter if they hadn't ingested the fluoridated water?
Well, look at vaccines, for example. I have a child who is vaccine injured. Now, he tested positive for the MTHFR gene. So there are certain things that his body does not break down and remove toxins from as quickly as other children. It's all about your genetic makeup. It's all about your genetic makeup.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't just be across the board that is harming the mass population. It could be a small segment.
The waste of it is also stored within our bones.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've been taking, I don't know, I've been doing it for 60 years, and I was wondering, okay, maybe I'm not as smart as I could have been, or
maybe not. Maybe you would be a Republican, John, if you hadn't had all that fluoride.
Yeah, that's a good possibility. But that was the question I had. But I guess with Ridgeland, I have one other point with Ridgeland. If they heard all this information and they heard the data, why is the Mississippi State Department of Health not getting on board with this?
Why does the Mississippi State Department of Health not get on board with anything that has been proven? I mean, I can't answer that for you. You'll have to ask them, but we got to take a break, John. Thanks for your call.
Okay.
All right, caller, stay on hold or either call back right after the break. Well, I think you hung up. All right, I think it got you on there. Stay on hold. We'll be right back right after this. This is the Lindsay Beckham Show, 103.9 WYAB, and we will be right back. Be right back.
103.9 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
Tom's Fried Pies. And I made the mistake. I ordered one pie. I figured, you know what? I'll try Tex-Mex. It was so good. Man, second go round, I ate the pecan pie. You will need a meat pie and a dessert one. Get both because they are off the hook.
I went to Tom's Fried Pies today, and I'm going back. I tried the taco one, really good. When I go back, I'll bring some home.
Tom'sFriedPies.com.
You wake up tired. You drag through the day. The drive's gone. The focus is gone. And somewhere along the way, you stopped feeling like yourself. At Live Better Men's Health and Wellness in Gluckstadt, they help men take control again with personalized testosterone therapy, wellness treatments, and real answers. Fast lab work, real medical professionals, no judgment. Stop settling for fine. Start living better. Live Better Men's Health. Online at livebettermen.com.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
Hey, this is Ben Ingram from the Braves Radio Network. We're in commercial right now, so I want to let my sister take over and tell you about Hometown Property Group.
Thanks, Ben. This is Mary Claire Putman with Hometown Property Group. Whether you're buying or selling, we are committed to guiding you through your real estate transaction with integrity, exceptional service, and remarkable results. Madison County has been my home for 40 years. I'd love to help make it yours too.
That's Hometown Property Group. Give them a call at 601-853-6080.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. We're going to go straight to the phone line. We'll see if we still got somebody on hold here. Doesn't look like it. Looks like you both hung up. Well, if you would like to call back, you can do so. We were discussing the fluoride being added back to Ridgeland's water systems and my issues with that. Here's the thing, John disagrees with me, but I told him maybe if you hadn't had all that fluoride, you might be a Republican. Your IQ might be just a little bit higher. But I guess we'll never know. Guess we will never know. Yesterday, as I was leaving the station, I saw some breaking news. Christine Wansley, Nolan Wells' mother. Now, I've had a lot to say about this mom because I completely disagree with jumping to hire a civil rights attorney such as Benjamin Crump. And then also the statements that she has made about how Black mothers should teach their Black children that they have to be oh so careful when they are moving in spaces with white people. Basically what I consider to be one of the most racist comments that I've heard in quite some time, probably more of a racist statement than I've heard from any of my white friends. But I was hearing on the radio shortly after leaving the studio yesterday, finishing up the show, that she was being investigated by the Board of Nursing over anonymous complaints. Now, while I am a firm advocate against cancel culture, just because my opinion differs from yours, I'm not going to call your job and try and get you fired. But, and that's a big but here, if you are in the profession of saving lives, if you are on the front lines, such as doctors and nurses, EMTs, police officers, firemen, our first responders, our healthcare workers, if that is what you have chosen to do as your profession, as your career, then you don't get to make statements like that. Because in my opinion, you make a very clearly racist statement. There are going to be a lot of white people who don't want to see your face when we come into a hospital with a heart attack or bleeding out from somewhere or needing emergency services. If you have that big of a problem with white people that you think black mamas need to teach their babies, you got to be careful when you're with people that don't look like you. They might kill you. If that is your thought process, and if you are so very sure that there was foul play involved, and these boys who were Nolan's best friend by all accounts had something to do with his death because they're white, then I'm sorry, I don't want you taking care of me. Hey there, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, I was just curious. All of Mississippi have chlorine in our drinking systems, or is it some counties do, some counties don't? The whole state, are they? In other words, are they controlling the whole state? These people.
Some counties do, and some counties don't. Now, our public service commissioners have all come out against it. They all agree that it is not good for us. There are numerous studies that do show that. And so they have come out in favor of removing it, but it is happening in community by community, one county at a time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I didn't know, does Rankin County have it? I'm just curious. I live there.
I'm not sure. I haven't looked up Rankin County or if they have it in their water or not, but that's a good question. I'll look that up and find out.
And everybody should, I don't know, everybody should be looking at this. Now, if Rankin County has it in a water system, how do we take it out? Do you go to the board meeting or what?
Yes, that's where you start. You go to your alderman and talk to them first. And the crazy thing is that over in Ridgeland, just a few months ago, every single alderman, it was a unanimous vote. They voted to move to the next step of the process to permanently remove it. So I don't know what flipped some of these people in such a, I can only imagine. And you know how politics works. But
I'm going to say lobbyists.
There's somewhere somebody is profiting off of this. You follow the money, you'll find the corruption every single time. But it makes no sense to me when you look at 50 or 60 years ago. Now, dental health professionals, they claim that it strengthens your teeth, that fluoride will strengthen your teeth. Maybe so. Maybe it does in some way, form, or fashion. But 50 or 60 years ago, when they started to introduce this into our water supply, there were no other forms of fluoride at that time. It's been proven over and over again that ingesting it is not what keeps your teeth healthy. It's the topical process, putting it on the teeth itself. Well, you can find that in toothpaste now. You can get treatments at the dentist. You can find food, certain salts that have fluoride added. So there are other places that you can get this fluoride today that it wasn't possible 50 or 60 years ago. So at this point in time, you can't control the dosing. There are people who drink much more water than others. Of course, children versus adult, there's just no way to control the dosing of it.
And also say that I hear the plastic bottles, the plastic has some kind of oil and some kind of chemical in it that after the bottle sits so long, they're messing up.
Or if they get too hot.
On all that, I'm not sure. And what I've been hearing, but it's time for us to wake up, I guess. But everybody's sleeping.
Oh yeah, I mean nobody wants to face the facts that we've been lied to.
Yes, ma'am. God bless you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. You too. Great call there. the fluoride thing, this is real. And there are states that have completely removed it. Utah and Florida have done so. And they're right now testing and looking at whether there should be federal guidelines for removing it across the country. So, if that happens, then I guess the Ridgeland aldermen lose anyway. But, that's what's next. That's what they're working on currently. I'm for anything that's going to help make Americans healthier. Maha mama over here. And I'm thankful for RFK Jr. for leading the way when it comes to these hard topics that nobody has ever had the backbone or the courage to speak out about. That man's a hero. An absolute hero. We got to take a break, but y'all stay with us. We are going to get into the Fat Cat Report, superintendents across the state of Mississippi. Be prepared to lose your lunch. Hopefully you haven't eaten yet. We'll be right back here at the Lindsay Beckham Show, 103.9 WYAB. 9 WYAB.
All in America.
103.9 WYAB.
When it comes to protecting all the things that matter in your world, generations of folks in central Mississippi have trusted Allstate agent Mark Dwyron. Mark knows the right coverage with the right price, helps you feel secure and protected. For decades, Mark's been a trusted agent protecting you against mayhem that is unpredictable. And he's always just a moment away when you need him. Mark Dwyron. For auto, home, life, and more, you're in good hands with Allstate. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. The Pentagon has blamed a recent change in how it categorizes casualties related to the military operation in Iran as a technical error. But Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth today is introducing legislation that she says will prevent this from happening. She says it's about being upfront and honest with facts that could have big impacts.
There is different statuses for how our service members are treated for their wounds and compensated if they are wounded or killed in a combat operation as opposed to a non-combat injury or death.
A Senate committee today voted to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt for his refusal to answer their questions last week. Committee Chair Rand Paul says he'll refer the vote to the Justice Department. The FDA voted to approve Moderna's first ever mRNA seasonal flu shot for people 50 and older. Data showed the vaccine was 27% more effective than the traditional flu shot. This is ABC News.
Greater Jackson, listen up. The big one is back. The Great Southern Gun and Knife Show hits Richlands Park and Rec Center on Harper Street, right behind Walmart this weekend only. Saturday, 9 to 5. Sunday, 10 to 5. It's only $10 for adults, $2 for kids 6 to 11, 18 and under. Bring a parent. Also, bring your own load of guns. There will be instant background checks available on site. You can also register for door prizes. Don't forget to exercise your Second Amendment rights. It's the big one this week in the Great Southern Gun and Knife Show. Sure as shooting, don't miss it.
At Flora Animal Hospital, our team doesn't just take care of your pet's needs. We feel like it starts with the pet parents. If the pet parent is informed thoroughly and understands the situation with the animal and why certain things need to be done or certain medications need to be given, it's easier to get that done. Our website is floraanimalhospital.com. It'll take you straight to the online store where your medicine can be purchased, food can be purchased, prescription or non-prescription, and they will be shipped straight to your front door. floraanimalhospital.com.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
Located in Ridgeland and Flora, come see me, Jamie Creel, Shelter Insurance.
Greetings. I'm Dr. Benny Tate, president of the Congregational Methodist Church denomination in Florence, Mississippi, and the pastor of Rock Springs Church in Milner, Georgia, inviting you to attend one of our services this week. Find a church near you at cm-church.org and be sure and listen for our weekly program, Apples of Gold from Rock Springs Church, here on 103.9 WYAB.
Sundays, 7:30 and 10. Imagine a day set apart for prayer, worship, and renewal. Reaching Beyond Ministries invites you to the Women's Prayer and Praise Break Conference, Thursday, September 24th at the 2 Mississippi Museums in downtown Jackson. Join women from our community for encouragement, fellowship, and faith-filled renewal as we pray for our city and beyond. Sponsorships, donations, and silent auction gifts are welcomed. For more information, email Angela Butler 01@gmail.com.
From Jacksontown to the radio, this is the Lindsay Beckham Show.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. You can text in to the Lindsay Beckham Show text line. That number is 601-879-4648. Or call into the show today, 601-879-0002. See a lot of people that have some opinions about our topics today. We're going to try to get to those. But I did want to talk about the newly released latest Mississippi Fat Cat report for 2026. All right, y'all ready for this? Hope you're sitting down. Mississippi has 141 school districts and 141 superintendents, one for each district. Total amount of money paid by you, my friends, the taxpayers, for superintendents a year, $20.4 million. The average salary, $145,000. 34 of the 141 are paid more than our governor. 16 of those 34 are paid more than the Chief Justice. The highest paid superintendent in the state? Anyone want to take a wild guess what his salary is? $280,000 a year. And guess what school district he comes from? Jackson Public Schools. That's right. Jackson Public School District, failing school district. Nobody can move to Jackson because you can't send your kids to Jackson Public Schools, right? I mean, I think that's pretty much a fact. And yet, their superintendent, highest paid across the state of Mississippi, $280,000 more than the governor, more than the Chief Justice. And what is there to show for it? If somebody knows, please let us in on the secret. Absolutely infuriating. Yes, one thing Mississippi needs desperately is consolidation of some of these school districts. More money, more money, more money to inflate the superintendent's wallets is not the answer. Put that money back into our classrooms where our children will see it. That's where taxpayer dollars are best spent. Not continuing to grow administration salaries. I'll tell you, there's not much that gets me as fired up as knowing that's where our money goes. And every single year, they want more money, more money, more money, more money. And they can't tell you when is it ever going to be enough. They have no answer for that. But as long as we allow it, they're going to continue it. As long as we, as Mississippians, don't stand up and say, this has gotten ridiculous here. If these people are in it for the right reasons, they care about children, they care about our children being educated in the best way possible, then they're still going to want that job without $200,000 or more. It's comical to me that our highest paid of the 141 districts is Jackson. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Now, if you want to see all the facts about your school district, superintendents across the state, you can find all of that at mspolicy.org/publications. And you can explore the rankings. You can look at how your school district compares to districts across the state. And then, of course, superintendent salaries compared to how well that particular school district is doing. It's shocking. It's shocking. And not enough of us are paying attention to where the money goes. Hey there, caller, you're on there. All right, guess that caller did not want to talk. Let's look at some of your chats over in the live stream. Y'all been blowing it up over here. Good morning, good afternoon, A Camp. Hugo, you were correct, 200K plus, yeah. Yes, it is being reintroduced. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, this just had that vote Tuesday evening at the Board of Aldermen meeting. Jonna said they're going to kill us all one way or another. COVID didn't do it. Let's just add more chemicals into our daily lives. It makes me so mad. Exactly. The only thing that can happen to him is a $100,000 fine or 1 year in jail. They won't put him in jail, and he's got the money just to slap on the wrist. Mr. Dilligaff, I guess you are referring to Ben Crump. Unfortunately. But you know what? That doesn't mean that those boys have to sit back and take it. 1,000,000% applaud them for hiring an attorney and going after Crump for defamation and slander, because that's exactly what they've done. Let's look up the Give, Send, Go and see where they are today. Right at $160,000. If you want to help contribute to the Give, Send, Go, you can find that at givesendgo.com. If it does not pop up on the home screen, you can search Stand with Nolan Wells Targeted Friends, and that should bring it right up for you. $160,000. Yes, we talked about that yesterday. They have retained this high-profile attorney who has done a lot of work on defamation cases for our very own president, Donald J. Trump. Manuel says, I regret it. He's talking about the COVID vaccine, air quotes in the studio here. I regret it. I was forced to take it or lose everything. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The amount of tyranny and overreach during 2020. Never forget. Never forget, people. Jonna says, I didn't take it, still wouldn't take it today. Proud, pure blood here. Amen. Mark said, here we go again, John, with an eye roll. Sarah says, you can't be racist working as a healthcare professional, period. Completely agree. She also said, I wonder how many patients of hers didn't receive proper treatment. That's a good question. Yeah, I do. I wonder, do you prioritize patients that look like you? Because it certainly seems as though that's the kind of mentality you would have, given the statements that you've made recently, Christine. Mr. Dilligaff, if a white nurse said that about black people, they would cry about it. Oh, they would dang sure be loud about it. I can assure you that. Susan says, some water sources had natural fluoride in them. People in those areas have great teeth. Yeah, this is artificial fluoride that's being added to the water supply. And when you look at the percentage of people who still put this type of fluoride into the water system, it's only about 4 to 5%. In fact, the amount of Americans that still have fluoride in their water systems is greater than, hold on, what was that fact that I read yesterday? It's all the other, anyway, we're the last ones. We're the last ones to take it out of our water now that we know what we know. That's what I'm trying to say. Mr. Dilligaff said, I don't know how to pronounce that word, PFAS, they're the chemicals in the plastic. Yeah, I've always heard that it's so much better to drink out of glass bottles because when the plastic gets hot, there are certain chemicals that are emitted, I guess, into the water. And I've had people tell me that they won't use the Keurig, the K-cups for their coffee because it tastes so much different to them. They can taste the chemicals from the plastic after it's been heated up enough to make your coffee. And I had never thought about that before, but it's a good point. Susan says, investigate white sugar. That is an issue. It is a very big issue, what's in our sugar and a lot of our foods. The food dyes, the different chemicals that are in so many of our foods, that are allowed in so many foods here in the United States because of the FDA. News from Whitlock Wells gave up custody of all her kids. In case you didn't see. Ashley, I'll have to look that up. I'll definitely look that up. Jennifer said this topic came up after Hurricane Katrina when it was discovered that most school districts had 0 students. So they were combined while some were disbanded. Well, there's a lot more consolidation that can be done. I'm thankful that we do have a committee that is looking into that. I feel like at least that's a start. At least that is a start. We need to be funding our students, educating our students, not funding our superintendents in the state, in my opinion. We got to take our last break. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here to wrap things up for the day here on The Lindsay Beckham Show.
Born in America.
1039 WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
When it comes to protecting all the things that matter in your world, generations of folks in central Mississippi have trusted Allstate agent Mark Dwyron. Mark knows the right coverage with the right price, helps you feel secure and protected. For decades, Mark's been a trusted agent protecting you against mayhem that is unpredictable. And he's always just a moment away when you need him. Mark Dwyron. For auto, home, life, and more, you're in good hands with Allstate. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Some people spend summer stressing over snacks. Smart people stop at Broad Street Baking Company. From smoked salmon dip to whipped feta and so much more, you can build your own snack tray, enjoy a cocktail, and grab a full-size dip to go. Beach day, boat day, game night, or backyard hang, Broad Street has summer covered. Take home all of your favorites from the grab-and-go cooler. Broad Street Baking Company in Banner Hall. We'll handle the snacks. You enjoy the summer.
Attention troops. General Bob's Swap Shop is moving to a brand new battle time. That's right, General Bob here, so fall in and form up every Saturday from 8 to 11 a.m. on 103.9 WYAB. Bring your bargains, your treasures, your oddities, and your best deals to the front lines to buy, sell, and trade. General Bob's Swap Shop is calling all troops to assemble. Report for General Bob's Swap Shop from 8 to 11 a.m. this Saturday. We're counting on you.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
This ad is for all the guys who work hard and they expect their truck to do the same. At RPT Commercial, we have the accessories to help you on the job site. From names like Bedrock Flatbeds, WeatherGuard Toolboxes, Nap-High Service Bodies, ARE Camper Tops, Deck Storage Solutions, and so much more. Stop by our new store on Highway 80 in Pearl and check with our expert staff and see what they can do to make the job just a little bit easier on you. At RPT Commercial, trucks live here.
It's all systems go this month at Mazda of Jackson. With rates as low as 0% with approved credit, come test drive the all-new, fully redesigned 2026 Mazda CX-5. More room for you and your cargo makes the third-generation CX-5 the best yet. Mazda's best-selling SUV also comes with 1-year maintenance included on your new vehicle purchase. And Mazda of Jackson still specializes in certified pre-owned vehicles with hassle-free trade-in options available. Shop online at MazdaJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road.
Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. We only have about a minute left here today. Thank you all for tuning in. I love it when I get a lot of calls and chats. You comment in the chat and it's interactive. So thank you all for participating in the show today. I do have an update on the North Carolina mom whose senior son was not allowed to paint his parking spot with the U.S. flag. I'm going to tell you about that tomorrow, so don't miss it. Also, still following the Lindsay Clancy trial. We'll give an update on that tomorrow as well, unless there is some breaking news that happens between now and then. That usually seems to be the case. But we've almost made it. We've almost made it to Friday. Hope you all have a great Thursday afternoon, and I will be right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. See you then. Bye.